News down. Mac Argylle is hitting theaters. This is coming out on Friday, so it's in theaters right now. And as of the time of us recording, Roddy T's Not Too Kind, I got it at roughly 35%.
Yeah, so we don't have an audience score yet, which will be interesting to compare these to each other. But the critics are saying this ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it ain't goo either. Goo, your rapid reaction based on your text to me after you saw this. So Goo has seen this, I haven't. Seemed like you liked it. Didn't love it, but it seemed like you liked it a lot.
No, but I also went into it not expecting this masterpiece. But what I wanted was some Matthew Vaughn thrown on my face, neck, and chest. And that is what happened. I got two scenes, which is really all I could ask for, of me sitting on the front of my chair, smiling ear to ear.
Is it in the conversation for best Matthew Vaughn movie?
Wait, are you asking me questions right now?
I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Wait, what's Goo's Juicy Six-Pack?
Child, let me tell you.
Goo's Juicy Six-Pack.
Oh, I showed you mine. So, Max, show me yours.
Do you want me to read questions verbatim, or do you want me to put a little flair on them here?
Put some flair on your questions, baby.
All right, good. Is this in the conversation for best Matthew Vaughn movie?
No.
Not even close?
No, like, I think the first Kingsman is way, way better.
All right. Is this as good or worse than the second Kingsman movie?
Better.
This is better than Kingsman 2.
Yeah, but I don't think that Kingsman 2 is great. And I think that Kingsman 2, you're waiting for that one great Matthew Vaughn action scene, and you semi get it a couple times, but they never quite hit that same peak that, say, the church scene is in Kingsman. And while this movie does not have the church scene, no movie really has the church scene. This has two that really I enjoyed.
All right. Fair enough. I think I like Kingsman 2 more than you do. Goo, is this movie original?
No, but on purpose?
So it's purposefully drawing off other spy stuff?
It's purposefully ripping off other stuff and almost...
Is it parodying stuff?
I'm saying it's doing it lazily, but on purpose? Is that a parody?
I don't know. I don't really know how you're describing this movie right now.
So it's about a spy novelist.
Right.
So everything that is happening is kind of in that spy novel cheesy fashion.
Okay. All right.
So it's a bunch of stuff that we've seen before, but through the lens of a cheesy airport novelist.
So based on that, you would think the people going to see this movie have a lot of knowledge about spy movies. So it feels like it probably shouldn't have to explain stuff. Am I right?
Yet this movie does over-explain things and does kind of get boring at points.
That's not great. That's not great. Who is the standout performance in this movie, Goo, if there is one?
Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell. Very good chemistry together.
All right. I like that. So, all right. So Sam Rockwell, I guess, was probably going to be the obvious answer. But Bryce Dallas Howard is real good, real strong.
Yeah, very, very strong.
Because I don't think I've seen her in anything other than Jurassic Park movies in that one episode of Black Mirror over the last, 5 years.
Oh, that was a great episode of Black Mirror, though.
Oh, I'm still asking questions here.
Yes, you are.
No. I think we covered all of it.
That's a good six-pack. All right, Mac, I guess I'll fill in. I think you only had 3 questions there. So is it the best thing ever? No. Is it original? No, but kind of on purpose. And it gets over-explaining at points, and that's not the best. I do love Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard in this, and it gave me 2 very cool scenes that I will say, leading up to the first scene, I was like, when are we going to get this scene? Are we going to get something cool? And then we do get those scenes. And then after those scenes, the movie just kind of keeps on going.
So would you say that you sort of waiting for that scene takes away from your viewing of it, or no?
Yes, I will tell you that I think it came to me after a semi-shark jumping moment to the point of I didn't really care about the movie anymore and I just wanted my scenes.
All right, fair enough.
So, I recommend.
Is it a theater movie?
The CGI isn't great. There's a lot of green screen work, so maybe television might hide that.
Gotcha.
Hey, it's early in the year. Take what you can get. News dope. Matthew Vaughn and Henry Cavill, possible reunion, even though, spoiler alert, not a lot of Cavill in that movie. Matthew Vaughn is interested in Superman Red Son, an adaptation, but he'd like to work on it with Henry Cavill back as Superman. Credit going to Post-Cred Pod.
So one of two things needs to happen here. James Gunn needs to greenlight this in their other worlds sort of situation, or
worlds, yes,
he waits 11 years until he can make this movie without the permission of DC.
He can jump. He has no logo.
And it's especially interesting considering Gunn and his brothers made that what's that movie I liked that no one
Brightburn.
Really Brightburn, which is in essence is the basis for Superman Red Son. Superman Red Son, if you don't know, or if some of the listeners don't know, is what if Superman landed in the Soviet Union in the 70s or 80s instead of landing here? And so they weaponize him and he becomes something that is not what we've ever seen before. So it's a very interesting premise.
I think it'd be funny if how James Gunn took pitches for DC movies is he gets the pitch and he's, I don't think I like that. And then they say, it's an Elseworld movie. Fuck it, do it.
We'll do it live. Why not?
You have 90 minutes of film. Don't go over. News dope. Back to life.
Back to reality.
Speaking of Matthew Vaughn, he said that he believes Deadpool v. Wolverine, very interesting choice of words there, will give the MCU a bolt back to life. The few snippets that he has seen are unbelievable.
I don't really know why he's even talking about this. I'm sure he was asked about it, maybe, or maybe he just offered it up.
Well, I would assume, may I step in? Can I put on my pants real quick?
Sure. Wear your pants.
So what I would say is the reason why he was asked about it, Mac, is he has directed an X-Men movie. Deadpool is an X-Men. Also, you're integrating X-Men into the MCU.
There you go. You figured it out quicker than I would have. That would have taken me hours. I like, of course, the few snippets he's seen in the Deadpool versus Wolverine fight are unbelievable. Of course, it's unbelievable. I'm sure it's going to be the best fucking 3 minutes of the movie, whatever. And I'm sure it happens in the first 15 minutes. Yes, of course. There's nothing. I don't know why he's saying it. I don't know.
He was asked about it. Why is he not going to say it?
I don't know. He should have just been like, we'll have to see.
He has no obligation to these people.
But then how has
he wants.
No, but then how has he seen this then?
It's kind of like how Tom Cruise saw The Flash.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
News down. So what you're telling me, sorry to go back here. You don't think Tom Cruise saw The Flash? He saw a different movie and they told him it was The Flash?
Well, that's not what I was saying, but you might be onto something there. I'm saying I don't think Matthew Vaughn has seen more than the rest of the internet has seen.
They showed Tom Cruise Oppenheimer and they told him it was The Flash. This is the best thing ever.
There's a big bright flash there at the end.
Yes, that's what I told him. That's what The Flash means.
All right, yeah, that's a possibility.
We figured it out. Supergirl has been cast Millie Alcock, and she is famous from House of Dragon.
Yeah, apparently James Gunn is a Game of Thrones House of Dragon watching House of the Dragon, and he thought, this is the adjectives he uses, she might have the edge, grace, and authenticity needed for the Supergirl role. Now, I don't know shit about Supergirl. I do, however, know that James Gunn plans on using her early and plans on using her to be the reason basically the universe opens up in his DCU. So he's very invested in this young woman. So I hope she does quite well.
News down. Looks like we've got ourselves a Thunderbolts swap out. Io Adibrie was supposed to be in the movie, but isn't that what it is?
Adibrie.
She was supposed to be in the movie, and then she said she had a scheduling conflict, which is exactly what Stephen Yeun said, so that's not good. But then Geraldine Viswanathan.
Pretty good.
Nailed it.
Pretty good.
She's in, and she said, "Thank you to my friend Ayo Adibre for being too booked." Hey, Marvel.
If you don't know who this girl is,
I don't.
the only place I have ever seen her is in that movie Blockers. She played Cena's daughter in that movie. She's pretty good in that. I haven't seen her in anything else, so it'll be interesting to see how this. I don't even know what Io was playing, so I don't know what Geraldine is now playing. This almost means nothing to me.
News dump. Christopher Nolan was asked by Time Magazine. Is it still a magazine or is it just a website? Is it
No idea.
Is it a pamphlet? Is it a zine?
There's our pamphlet.
There we go. But he was asked about making large-scale films, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to keep on doing it. There are so many filmmakers out there in the world who would give their teeth. What? To have, maybe there's supposed to be a comma in there, right? Like eye and teeth? Whatever it is. Resources. I feel like I have a responsibility to use them."
I don't care. Christopher Nolan does at this point. He can do whatever. He's got
whatever he wants, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, keep making big, massive movies. Why not? I see no reason why this should end.
Can I get flowers for my headline?
No, I don't know what it means.
So he's making
large. It's a scale joke.
What's the headline?
Christopher the Reptile Nolan. He's scaly.
Speaking of large-scale Christopher Nolan movies, Tenet is being taken back to theaters on February 23rd, including IMAX theaters.
Is it the worst Christopher Nolan movie?
Maybe I have to see it in IMAX?
I think it's comfortably the worst Christopher Nolan movie.
But do you think I'll like it more if it's an IMAX?
I think anyone watching that movie a second time is going to like it more than the first viewing. I don't think that excuses the first viewing, though. We talk about rewatchability all the time on this program, and there's something to be said about movies that are very rewatchable and get better upon rewatches. But if you watch a movie once and do not understand the movie, that is not a good thing. You don't get bonus points for me watching it a second time and me finally understanding it. That doesn't work in your favor. So I have to penalize. I actually think people that understood Tenet the first time are lying. I think they're fucking lying. I think you could say you enjoyed what happened on the big screen because there were some cool action set pieces and there was some good acting in there. I think you're lying if you understood what that movie was trying to tell you.
Take it easy, Christopher Nolan's Peloton bike rider instructor. News dump. Oh, man. Austin Butler had to hire a dialect coach to help him get rid of his infamous, or I'd say famous. Why is it infamous?
Well, because the movie sucked.
No, but he got acclaim for his work in the movie. I don't know who wrote this. But either way, his Elvis impersonation, his accent, which I've been saying for over a year now, he can't stop. I was right. Can you say that I'm right?
I don't know. I think everyone said this. I don't know if you said it.
I was the only one who had the.
He's also set to be the lead in the Band of Brothers spinoff thing, the air something about planes and flying and air stuff. I guess he's a good actor. I don't know. I haven't seen him in anything other than Elvis. He's in Dune 2 coming up, so I'm assuming he's going to be pretty good in that. I can't tell you if he's a good actor. I know he's good at impersonating Elvis. I have no idea if he's a good actor or not.
I did see the trailer for that World War II pilot movie. I think he's playing Elvis the pilot, right?
No, it's not a movie. It's a series. It's like Band of Brothers.
Yeah, but he's playing Elvis the pilot. News down.
I ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I know everyone was making the joke here of, when the dialect coach left, he must have fell back into the Elvis impression. Thank you. Thank you very much. The internet's great. News dump. Michael Jackson biopic in development?
This has been brought upon me not because of a Michael Jackson casting news, Goo, because I read yesterday that Miles Teller is in talks to star in this Michael Jackson biopic. And of course, the natural reaction I had is there going to be a black guy playing Michael Jackson and a white guy playing Michael Jackson?
I think he's playing his doctor.
I read maybe lawyer because they look somewhat similar, but he's going to be playing someone obviously close to Michael Jackson if he is quote unquote starring in this movie. More importantly, Goo, as I looked up what the fuck this movie is, this is going to be directed by Antoine Fuqua. If you don't know who he is, he directed Training Day, one of my all-time favorites. Shooter, all-time great cable movie, and also the 3 Equalizer movies that Denzel has been in. So he's had a pretty successful career. The movie will be called Michael, real creative, and the lead here playing an adult Michael Jackson is his nephew Jafar Jackson. So that's pretty interesting. But that also leads me to believe that they aren't going to tell some of the bad stuff if his nephew is playing him. You know, that doesn't give me hope that they're going to tell a real accurate story.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo is playing the father Joe. He's actually up, I think, for best supporting this year. Nia Long is playing the mother Catherine. And apparently the movie is going to cover the span of his whole life from child star until his untimely death.
Doesn't sound like it.
I just don't think they're going to get into the stuff we're interested in.
Also, I would argue that even if they would get into that stuff, I don't want to see this.
Well, you have to remember, because it was on VH1 a million times when we were kids. VH1 had that really long Jackson 5 movie and ultimately a Michael Jackson movie.
Yeah.
And it gets into like Joe's abuse and some of that stuff. I don't know how they ever got it made, but that came out. That had to have been made 25 years ago, late 90s, right? I feel like.
Oh, that's like that ESPN show, Playmakers. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Playmakers.
It was one season. It was an NFL team. It was a great season, but then the NFL's like, stop it.
They put the kibosh on it.
Please don't tell people this.
So I wonder, I'm sure they'll get into the Joe stuff, and maybe my worry, Goo, is that they're gonna use this as an excuse as to why certain allegations were thrown upon Michael Jackson, and I think that would be a real misuse of everyone's time.
Also, if it's something that's done by the family or with permission by the family, you then humanize them again.
Right. And everything's allegedly, but at a certain point, there's got to be a number. I don't know what it is, but allegedly goes to it happened after like the 30th victim, right? There's a number in there somewhere.
Speaking of allegedly, news dump. There's a movie, an independence movie called Suddenly that is suddenly not happening. This is all allegedly.
Suddenly Seymour.
But an indie movie called Suddenly that was starring Jake Gyllenhaal is now gone because of his erratic behavior. And this is all allegedly.
Allegedly.
I saw it was on some .net website, so they don't even fucking matter. But some of the stuff that he was allegedly doing, Jake Gyllenhaal was allegedly doing, was stripping to his underwear and diving into the freezing ocean, saying, "When I see the sea, I swim in the sea," which I get. I'm an ocean guy.
Great quote.
I get it. You see the ocean, you gotta go in the ocean.
I, for one, hate the ocean, but I understand what he's saying.
He consistently demanded script rewrites.
As stars do.
He was doing his rehearsal in a Pepe Le Pew-like accent.
That is not something sane stars do, so I wonder what's going on here with Mr. Gyllenhaal.
Should we do the rest of this segment in a Pepe Le Pew-like accent?
No.
Saying their workers should sleep in their cars to prevent COVID spread.
So was this movie shot in 2020?
It sounds like a 2021 movie.
This is interesting. I have never heard a bad thing about Jake Gyllenhaal before, so it's bizarre that it would be coming to light now, so deep into his career. But maybe he went off the deep end there during COVID. I don't know. Who knows what the hell happened?
We all did.
We definitely got to see the movie now, though, and maybe that was.
I don't think it was mid.
No, I think they shot.
It was suddenly, it fell apart. It's gone.
Yeah. All right. I need to see what they shot. I need to see whatever they got.
I read a good theory earlier that Gyllenhaal was sold a bill of goods. He then read the script and said, "This is not what I signed up for." And then he went off.
You are somewhere between like Romanian and French, or like Turkish and French. It's just, I don't know what there is a hint of French in there. I'll give you that.
That's what Pepe Le Pew is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Then
You
he
just get a little
floats,
bit of it though.
and he smells the cat. Ma chérie. News dump.
Au revoir, Scoshana!
We got a trailer for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This looks like fun. Guy Ritchie, World War II Nazi hunters, with an unhinged Henry Cavill leading the way. Isa Gonzalez, Alan Richson, that's a stupid name, and Henry Golden.
Coming to theaters in April, based on a true story of Nazi hunters. This looks exhilarating. I would like someone to not this in general. Someone needs to be attached to Guy Ritchie and not let him name his movies what he names them. I fucking hate most of Guy Ritchie's movies' names. He makes fun movies. The names of his movies blow.
Do you think these are all working titles and they just forget to change them?
First thing he wrote down on day one, and then
guys, we're gonna change this. Don't worry about it. Then they go to the premiere. Oh fuck! I knew I forgot to turn the stove off.
This isn't where I parked my script.
I will say though is that, and we're about to talk about another action movie in a second, but a lot of these are starting to feel very samey, right?
Goo, you're slowly stumbling upon why I don't care for most action movies. There needs to be, now this one, Nazi hunting, is gonna rope me in. There needs to be a real like hearty story to an action movie for me to really enjoy it. I can watch it and have fun, but for me to really like the action movie, there's got to be, my example always is like, it can be as simple as John Wick's someone kills his dog, right? That I'll buy into that. I can get that. It just can't be John Wick's 2, 3, and 4 where they're like, he just likes killing.
Killing's fun. But also, I'm into an action movie if they give us like a new piece of action, like something that we haven't seen yet.
Yep.
So like, yes, the John Wick movies, you might not like the story, but each of the John Wick movies at least added a new action scene that we haven't seen before.
Sure. Yeah. But at what point, like that, I guess it'll never end. There'll always be something new. And I don't
know if there will. I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know if there will be new things anymore.
John Wick 4, I didn't do it for me at all. At least 2 and 3 had standout scenes where I was like, all right, that was fucking sick.
You didn't like the over the head scene from fucking John Wick 4?
No, nothing in 4 really did it for me.
You need to start watching movies with your eyes open.
The knife throwing scene and the Boban scene in 3 were fucking incredible. The first like 28 minutes of 3 were amazing, and then it teeters off.
I go to screenings with Mac, and he sits there with his eyes closed and just yells, "Theater of the Mind." Everyone hates him. News down. Also got a trailer for Roadhouse. This is another Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Maybe we should have put this after the Suddenly one to have a little synergy between these headlines. But this looks okay. Is it a series on Prime or is it
No, it's a movie.
Is it on Apple or Prime?
Prime. Coming to Prime.
Okay.
I don't know when, month or two. And it's being directed by Doug Liman, who I believe did a Bourne or 2 Bourne movies. Mm-hmm. Obviously pretty successful.
You love Bourne.
I do love the Bourne movies. Even the Jeremy Renner one. The stars Gyllenhaal, like you said.
You're a Renhead though.
Conor McGregor is playing the villain in this movie. I just don't know why they're doing this. Like, it feels like the people that love the original Roadhouse have hated what they've seen from this.
Yes.
And there's no audience outside of that. I'm not going to watch this. Why would I watch this?
Yeah, I'm not a part of the original audience that loves Roadhouse.
Right.
And I'm indifferent to this.
You're just pissing off the original audience. And then what's roping people into this? Maybe Conor McGregor fans are going to watch it, but I consider myself a McGregor fan, and I'm not going to watch this.
Gyllenhaal's sweet bod.
That's what it is.
Yeah. News dump. Also got a trailer for, and this is what I was talking about earlier, and that is Monkey Man. This is directed and starring Dev Patel, and it is an action thriller from Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions.
You get all sorts of vibes from stuff you've sort of seen before, or themes you've sort of seen before in this movie. But what it looks like is the combination or the dish they put together for this movie is something entirely new or a new combination of it, it looks fucking great. I'm not going to lie. This action movie looks awesome. I'm looking forward to this. Maybe it's because Dev Patel playing this role is unexpected. It just looks fucking cool as hell. I am kind of hyped for this movie.
It was down. Also got a trailer, a rated R comedy starring John Cena and Zac Efron. I lost the headline.
And Andrew
there.
Santino.
Andrew Santino. And it is called Ricky Stanicky. Peter Farrelly's Ricky Stanicky, coming to Prime Video on March 7th. And this is right up our alley.
Good premise. Really good premise. If you haven't seen the trailer at home, the premise of this is Efron, Santino, and their third friend, who I forget his name, for years have been using a fake friend as an excuse to get away for a weekend or, X, Y, and Z. And at a certain point, that rears its head. So they hire John Cena to play the fake friend. And of course, that comes back to bite him. The friend's name is Ricky Stanicky. I'm super excited this is going straight to Prime Video because it wouldn't have made any money in the theaters. So hopefully that saves people from from disliking it. Because I feel like if you don't pay for the movie, generally you're gonna the floor is much higher. And I'm looking forward to this one.
Generally, when you don't pay for a movie and it goes straight to streaming, you think that it's free. That's what happens in your head.
Yeah.
When in fact, you paying for the streaming service is paying for the movie. News up. Huge news from Paul Giamatti.
Oh, you missed one.
I don't care. We'll go back to it in a second. He says that the role that he is most recognized for is Marty Wolf from Big Fat Liar or Agent Cody Banks. I think he's confusing that. All kinds of people all over the fucking world are like, the Blue Man.
You must have disappeared for 2 weeks because he talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Well, this popped up on my feed at the end of last week.
I do love that Giamatti is recognized for that Frankie Muniz movie.
Agent Cody Banks.
Is that the one or is it Big Fat Liar?
You could probably figure
I
it
don't
out.
really
Matt.
know. One has Amanda Bynes, one has Hilary Duff. Yeah, to be honest with you, as a kid, in our age group, that's the most recognizable Paul Giamatti role, easily.
He prematurely blew himself. News up. I don't have this on the rundown, Mac. What is in a violent nature? You added it late.
I added it 3 hours ago.
Just tell me what it is.
So this is very intriguing. I think it's right up your alley because you like new stuff and genres. The premise of this movie, Goo, in a violent nature, is that it is a horror movie shot from the perspective of the killer. There's no date on it yet. There was just a little teaser, a few second teaser. I don't know how they're going to do this, but I am intrigued by it. If I had to bet, it's not going to be good. I would say that. But I'm intrigued as to how they're going to So the biggest issue I have, Goo, with Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, not a lot of people have liked that movie that we speak to. You and I borderline loved it. My biggest issue with that movie is it is told from the perspective of the bad guys, and Scorsese does have a tendency of doing that. So this takes some of the I don't know, the juice out of a horror movie, right? Part of the appeal of the horror movie is being on the edge of your seat. So if you're watching or viewing from the perspective of the killer, what are they going to do to make up for that? You know what I mean? So I'm definitely intrigued as to what they're going to do. I just don't think it's going to be good.
So pretty much you'll be in his shoes and you'll feel like the killer. So
I don't think it's going to be VR style. That's so what are they going to do? I'm intrigued.
News dump. Looking like we might be getting a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot. This news comes to us via Business Insider with an interview with Dolly Parton, of all people.
Yeah, this is so number one. The headline here, obviously, Buffy the Vampire Slayer might be rebooted, which, you know what, maybe they could do. I love that show, but that's not a show that I don't think should be untouched. You could do that type of stuff, especially nowadays. The more surprising thing here is Dolly Parton and her relation to Buffy. Apparently, her production company, which she started with like her agent or something like that many, many moons ago, Sand Dollar Productions, co-produced the original Buffy movie starring my girl, Christy Swanson. And then this production company later teamed up with Joss Whedon's production company to create the popular television series, which it was unbeknownst to me and pretty much everyone else. They also made that Angels show. So we have Dolly Parton to thank for Buffy, which is very surprising.
There's also a note here from Max saying Joss Whedon better be involved.
Listen, I will go to my grave. A line in the sand I will always keep is Justice League is better than the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut is so
Your spite knows no
shallow
bounds.
and pedantic. Listen, Justice League wasn't good. We didn't like that. But at least there was an effort there to not make it like every other DC movie. Zack Snyder came in and doubled down on everything that made
that's
DC
because
movies bad.
They were his movies.
I'll never understand the love for the Snyder Cut. He doubled down on everything that made all those movies fail, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, fucking Snyder Cut, yeah, give us the air cut now." Fuck you guys, Snyder Cut blows.
The air cut thing is not real. People are not demanding the air cut
I don't know why anyone demanded the Snyder Cut.
because it was better.
Sure wasn't, and it was twice as long. Might have been 3 times as long.
Yeah. Have you ever heard double the fun? Double the fun, not fum.
Terrible. So bad.
News down. Getting Severance season 2.
Yeah, there's another show you got to add to your list. Watch Severance season 1. It's a lot of fun. It's a great little sci-fi thriller mystery. They released a still from season 2, and it shows Adam Scott running in a very Tom Cruise-like sprint. I'm very much looking forward to this season because at the end of that season, it's like the egg cracks open. So we're just trying to figure out what the fuck the yolk is. We just got a little bit of the taste there. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Is it like a double yolk?
I don't know. Possibly.
And then you can go to a dinner party and tell all your friends. So next week, we are going to do at least a double feature on Goose Day. It'll be Argylle and American Fiction. Maybe no, I think we'll save Ted. We'll do Ted and Echo and then something else. Let's not do
forgot
Tenet.
about Echo. How about that?
Do we ever do Echo? I don't know.
Ted and Echo. Yeah, we could do that Ted Echo and something else, maybe.
Ted Echo and something
I don't
else.
have much to say about either of those two shows. Ted was very enjoyable. I have a hard time talking about it for more than 5 minutes.
That's a good start right there.
Did you finish Ted?
I did finish Ted.
Did the Jafar joke kill you?
I might have missed it.
Oh man, I get that because it was a nighttime show for me too. There's Ted says it, and he says it in the Boston accent. He's a fucking Jafar. It kills me. It absolutely killed me.
I guess I'll have to go back and find it. All right. See you guys next Goose Day.
See you out there.
News down.